So, you're in a funk. Let's be real. You just wanna feel right? Like low energy. Maybe something happened or you're like, ugh, really? That had to happen? Or just like you feel like things aren't going your way or something's up. You're not living your best life. You're not like stepping up and doing your thing. So, what do you do about it? What do you do when you're in a funk? So that's what we're gonna be talking about in today's training. I have 10 steps, 10 things based on peak performance science, based on the best research around the world of what you can do right here, right now to get yourself out of a funk. So if you wanna hear more, follow me to the other side. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to this podcast. Welcome back to however you are accessing this information right here. My name is Luz Gonzalez and I am your favorite peak performance coach. I work with you to take you to the next level of your life, the next level of joy, of passion, of success, of financial abundance, whatever that is. We work together to push you to the edge, to push you to the next level. And we do it together in 3 ways. So my mission, again, bring more light to the world. And that is represented in 3 specific things that we focus on. Number 1 is really stepping into your power, claiming your self-agency, really rising to meet the power that really, as cheesy as it sounds, that lies within. Number 2, we work together in this channel and through all of my coaching programs and through one-on-one coaching, we work together for you to rise to meet your full potential, because we're not here to just merely go through the motions. We are here to be the best that we can be and to really do whatever we can to fulfill that biggest, brightest, boldest, happiest, most successful, abundant, right? All the things, version of ourselves and of our life. And number 3, we focus on courageous action, right? You can have one of my favorite mentors. He says, you can, one thing of courageous action is worth more than 50 vision boards. So it is through courageous action that everything else actually happens. We can't just dream about it, think about it. We're guys to be intelligent about things. You gotta take action. You gotta take action even as your knees are shaking. So that's who I am, that's what I do. And today we are here to talk about how to get yourself out of the funk, right? So the work that I do is working with you so you can really live your best life. But then let's be real. Sometimes you don't feel like you're living your best life. Sometimes you're like, give me a second. Truth, right? So I'm not trying to be perfect or anything. So truth was, this is empty. It's empty because guess who finished it? Me. That's because this is the only junk food I have in the apartment. Oh, I also finished a bar of chocolate. So that's how I trick myself. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just have to eat a banana. But finished this last night because I was feeling myself in a funk. We're over that. But it got me thinking, and I had heard from one of the people in one of the many programs that I run, someone had said, well, what do you do? And I've heard this from multiple people. What do you do when you're just not feeling it? And the reality is you're just, for whatever reason, you're kind of either feeling blue or just meh or out of it or sad or something. It's just it doesn't, you're like, no, Luz, I'm really not living the best life right now. I'm not stepping into my power. So let's talk about what we do to get ourselves out of that funk. First of all, shake it off, woo! Okay, so we're gonna be going over 10 things that you can do to get yourself out of a funk. And so, of course, I have my notes here. Number first, I just said that. Number first thing that we're gonna go over is you know, as one of my other favorite mentors says, you get what you tolerate. So right here, we're not talking, this video is not talking about depression. If you are at a place where you feel like you're depressed, there are a lot of resources, and I'll include some below. This is real, this is important, you need to take care of yourself. A lot of the things that I'm gonna talk to you about in this video will definitely help. Right? So here we're talking about this sort of temporary, it might have been a few days, maybe it's been a week, maybe it's been even a couple of weeks, you know, like it's been some time, and you're just like, I'm struggling, right? Like I could use some help. And so back to my mentor, what he says is, we get what we tolerate. And that's why I really want you guys to have a vision of what it looks like for you to be your best self. What it looks like for you to live your best life, what it looks like for you to, you know, have a North Star. And this is what we talked about in the last class for my monthly coaching program. If you haven't joined yet, honestly, like join, just the first class could change your life. I'll include the information below, but that's what we talked about. We talked about setting a vision for your life so you feel really inspired. And so when you know what your standards are, when you know what it is that you've just like, this is what I deserve in my life, then you know when you're out of sync, you know when you're out of alignment. And so we get what we tolerate, and we can often tolerate habits, like emotional habits. And once you like really get into what's called a funk, it's not just like a couple of hours or like a moment. It's a little bit longer, right? Maybe it's an entire day, maybe it's like a few days, again, maybe it could be some weeks. Then what we've started to do really in our brain is we're started to create these neural pathways, this mental conditioning that is now training our brain to get into this funk state. So we've got to work to get rid of that, because what we want to build in our brain and our neural, you know, connections is we want to build, you know, highways, neural highways for resilience and for joy and for gratitude. And you practice, right? It's habituated ways of being. It's habituated emotions that we have. And so let's know what we will not tolerate. I want you guys to have standards in terms of what you choose to have in your life. So that's the first thing. I want you to think about what's your emotional home? Like, where do you live in terms of your emotions? Most of us, we experience really not that many emotions. We kind of experience the same emotions like week after week. And so I want you to bring awareness. I want you to write down, this is an exercise that you can do. I want you to write down, what are the 10 most positive emotions that you feel on a daily to weekly basis? And I want you to think of the negative emotions. And what you're gonna find is these are kind of the emotions that you consistently go to. And so maybe you want to choose some different ones. So if on your positive emotions list, you don't have gratitude and joy and love, maybe these are some that you want to add. And you know, for me, I'll speak about my own experience. So on my negatives, sometimes I'll have like overwhelm, or I'll have frustration. And we're gonna be talking about ways to really, to have influence over yourself, to change and influence the emotional states and the emotional home that you consistently come back to. Okay, with that sort of introduction, let's go into our 10 steps for you to get yourself out of a funk. Number 1, feel your feelings. So that's where we have to start. Honor where you're at. So yesterday, I was feeling in funk. I ate that entire bag of chips, of corn chips. No salsa, just the chips. If I had ice cream, I would have probably eaten the whole pint. I'll include a video right here or in the comments below of when I did eat a pint of ice cream. So guys, I'm not a saint, you know, I'm human and I have these moments too. And again, part of my work that I'm doing is I just want to be real with y'all. I'm in Texas, so I'm starting to say y'all. We're gonna get a lot of y'all. So I just want to be real that, like, yeah, it's life. It's gonna be messy. It's gonna be not perfect. And sometimes you're gonna eat a bag of corn chips because that's all you have. And so feel your feelings. So yesterday, I was just kind of in I was like, I don't want to do any work. I just want to sit here and watch a movie, and I don't want to do anything, and maybe I'll just go take a nap, and do I have anything else that's junk food in this house that I can eat? So that's the reality of it, right? And I cried and I danced, but the thing is, I have these strategies, I have these tools. So these 10 things that we're gonna be going over together, I did all of them because now I know how to help myself get out of a funky state. And as you guys can see, we're good. We're good. We're going. And again, like, I'm human and I have those moments too. So I want you to know that it's not like life, and sometimes like life just happens and you're gonna have a bad moment. But let them be moments and not, entire weeks or months or the rest of your life. Unfortunately, I know some people who let a funk turn into a way of being. And then you become a person who's just a type of person that hasn't changed, hasn't decided, you know what? Life is too precious, life is too short for me to waste it, for me to choose suffering over joy. And it's really a choice, and I'm not saying it's an easy choice, but it is a choice. Do you choose to stay in a space of suffering, of like, well, everything sucks, I'm just gonna be here? Or do you choose to say, you know what, well, that sucked, or that was unfortunate, or this moment right here, right now is hard, but I know I'm gonna get through it. I believe in myself, and I know that whatever is coming next, I know that my tomorrow, I know that my next hour is gonna be beautiful, and the only person who can make it beautiful is me. So feel your feelings, honor your feelings, go through the process, cry it out, like do whatever you need to do. And I'm talking to my guys now. So I know there's a lot of women and a lot of men who listen to this content. And guys, I'm talking specifically to you, or maybe you're a woman who, for whatever reason, you were told not to feel your feelings. It just, any person, feel your feelings. Give yourself the honor and the space to like really connect, right? So you guys have probably seen my tattoo, this tattoo of a heart. And for me, I got it because it was such, I wanted it to be a strong reminder to keep coming back to the real essence of who I am and who we all are. And it really, I can't explain it through science. I know we have neurons in our heart and neurons in our gut. But you just bring it back down and allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself to experience whatever you're experiencing. Don't just intellectualize the thing that you're going through. Allow yourself to feel and work your way through it. And we're gonna talk about other things that we can do. But first things, feel, be true to your feelings. Doesn't mean that you have to become your feelings or be caged by your feelings, but allow yourself to go there. Awesome. Number 2, I want you to create a compelling future. And so again, back to what I was saying about you become your standards, and you get what you settle for, or you get what your standards are. Have a compelling vision for your life. And with this one, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I really want you guys to sign up for this monthly program that I put together, where I spent 2 hours on walking you through questions, walking you through exercises, walking you through the training in terms of how to build a compelling future for yourself. And you're going to think about, and I mean right here, right now, I want you to think about what's your compelling future for the next 10 years, for the next 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. I want you to think about your funeral. I want you to think about who you're gonna be so proud for people to say that you were, right? And when you have a compelling future ahead of you, when you just own that your life is gonna be beautiful, that no matter what happens, no matter what comes your way, you've decided to live in a beautiful state, you've decided to have a beautiful life, you will be able to work through anything that comes your way much faster. But you have to have a compelling future. If you have this compelling vision of the future, it's just going to be much faster to move through it. Now, to do that, you can do a visualization. So I want you guys to imagine what this, what for you to live your best life, what that looks like. And again, in this program, I actually walk you guys through visualization. I have you close your eyes, I play some music for you, and I walk you to this, incredible vision of what your life will be. So honestly, do just sign up. I so want to see you in there. And also in terms of creating a compelling future, create a bucket list. Bucket lists are so fun. I want to tell me in the comments below what's on your bucket list, right? So create a bucket list for yourself. That's just gonna get you planning. That's gonna secrete some, specific chemicals from your brain. So start planning, start thinking of like, all right, I want you to find something, short term in that month that's really exciting for you, something that you have to work towards. And if you have something to work towards, you will feel better. I can assure you, and it has to be this more compelling vision of your future, whether it be short term, long term, and specifically right now, given that you're in a, sort of a funky state, I do want you to have a, 2 weeks to 1 month short-term goal that gets you really juiced, really excited. Maybe it's taking dance lessons. Maybe it's going to a meetup group. Maybe it's, I don't know. Today I'm gonna go meet with a group that's called Sit Down, Shut Up and Write, because I'm writing my book this year, and I was like, I need to put some time on the calendar, right? So like that feels exciting to me, going on these hikes. Now that I'm in Texas and meeting new people, that's exciting. So get yourself something on your calendar in the next 2 to 4 weeks that feels really exciting, and that will help you get out of a funk. Okay, number 3. I want you to change your state. All right, so what does it mean for us to change our state? Our state is like your state of being, right? Your state is composed of multiple things, components, pieces that put it together. One of them includes your physical body. So it includes your body language. So I want you to play along with me. If you're in the car, if you're driving, maybe we'll do this less so, but I really want you to play along with me. So let's go ahead, and I want you to exaggerate being in a funk. I will show you guys what I was doing yesterday. This was me. The world is done. This was me, right? There's a specific body language to the different states that we're in. Now I want you to show me gratitude. Gratitude might look something like this. I want you to notice how you breathe, right? I want you to now do joy for me. Joy looks like this. And so there's different physiology to the different states that we are in. So often we're having more negative states, we're gonna be doing something like this. We're gonna be making ourselves small. Whereas when we're in a positive state, we make ourselves bigger, we take up more space, we breathe fully, we breathe into our abdomen. So catch yourself. I want you to be fully aware of your body language. Also your language. So this one's funny. In the past, when I was upset at something, right, like I'd be angry at something, I'd be like, that's so frustrating. Now, I'll say things like, I'm perturbed, I am irked, or I am bummed, right? Like there's a huge difference between I am heartbroken and I'm bummed, I'm irked, I'm perturbed. So I want you to find a word that is maybe less negatively charged, right? Like words like, he stabbed me in the back, she stabbed me in the back, or like, that's like a lot of emotion there. So we can take power away from these emotions by the vocabulary that we use. And so I want you to be very specific about the words that you're using. And I want you to start incorporating more positive vocabulary and words into your day, especially as we're working our way through this funk. Number 3, that was number 3. Number 4, is going to be called positive reminiscing. So here, what you are going to be doing is you're going to be helping your brain secrete. You guys know I'm a huge brain nerd. So what we're doing here is there's going to be these major brain chemicals. So specifically serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, and oxytocin. So these things that I'm talking to you guys about are going to be working with these chemicals and testosterone, really. These chemicals for you to scientifically get yourself into a better state. And so with positive reminiscing, that it's working again with your brain to get you to start secreting these. And that's the beauty about science, I think, that we take something like, you know, being in a funky state, and I'm like, well, I can tell you that if you do these things, it's gonna make it better because #science. So positive reminiscing, I want you to close your eyes and maybe once a day, maybe 4 times a day, maybe more often. You put a little alarm on your calendar and your phone, and I want you to take just 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes, and just write down, your most positive memories of your life. Right, so for me, it might be like building puzzles with my dad. It's playing with my niece, right? So as soon as you start thinking about these moments, that changes your brain chemistry, and that gets you to a place where you automatically feel better. It's so, being in a state of suffering is very often about living in the past. When we are truly present, there is no anxiety. There is no, anxiety or sadness or, feeling in a funk feeling when we're truly being present, right? So anxiety comes from projecting out into the future, sadness, depression, like a lot of that comes from living in the past. And so being in the present, and so being present to these most positive moments of your life is gonna change things around for you. So that's number 4. Number 5, I want you to get out into nature. So if you can, right now where I'm at, I have to drive to nature, and if that's something you have to do it. There's been studies, there's so much data that talks about how if you get yourself out into nature, that will change your state. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel 1,000 times better. And if you can't, go and drive to a beautiful place with a lot of trees, heck, just go outside, walk for 10 minutes around the block, and that is immediately gonna get you to feel better. That's back to the changing your state. So changing not just our body language, but bringing more energy into how we are operating, right? So it means like working out. It means putting on a song. Like I have my playlist. I'll include my playlist below. In terms of like getting yourself to a place. And the thing is, you're not gonna feel like it. When you're in a funk, you don't feel like it, but you rise to the level of your conditioning. You rise to the level of your training, which is why at this point, I'm able to get out of it fast, right? Because I have the training and I've been working on it for years. So I want you to have these tools and I want you to rise to the training. And when you're not feeling like it, you're gonna tell brain, move over, buddy, because the heart is in charge and I'm gonna be present and I am going to move and I'm gonna dance to the song and I'm gonna do open body language and I'm gonna smile, if I don't feel like it, right? Because that is you deciding, what? This is right. Life is too short. Life is too precious. Life is too important to live in this negative state. And it is my choice. And it's not gonna be easy. And it's gonna be hard. And I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm gonna pretend that I'm like training, that I'm, like Karate Kid and, it's wax on, wax off. I want you to wax on, wax off with this. I want you to be like, all right, I'm doing this, Luz. I'm smiling, I'm pumping up. And it's gonna change your state. And I need you to do this multiple times a day. I need you to do this multiple days. I need you to keep doing this, especially if you've been in a funk for a while. I want you to do this for 30 days. And that will change how you're approaching your life. You just gotta do it, right? It's like your homework. You can't think about it and not do it and have it change. You're gonna have to be diligent. It's gonna be hard. This is training, y'all. This is training. This is me telling you to do push-ups. That's what we're doing here. I want you to do emotional push-ups. And it looks like popping up, you know, a song and going to my playlist and dancing along. And it looks like putting my program, you know, on replay. And it looks like, you know, smiling. And it looks like all the other things that we're gonna be talking about. Okay, so getting out in nature, that was a little side thing, but like, you know, get out in nature. I dance in nature sometimes. I just came from Sedona and I was like in the woods and I was like dancing and there were people walking. I was like, I don't care. So maybe you combine some of them. Maybe like you dance in nature. So get out to nature is gonna make you feel better. All right, this next one, number 6, I love. It actually comes from one of my love coaches, one of my love mentors. Yes, I have coaches for everything under the sun. I love coaching. I get coaching for everything. You should too. Okay, so this one's called Empty Out the Garbage Can. I love this idea. So this is maybe more pertinent to the ladies who are watching this. So emptying out the garbage can. I know that this is something that I need. For us women, when something happens, we just feel full. We feel full of the thing. And we just need to get it out. And the way that we get it out is just talking, right? So sometimes what I'll do with a friend, I'll be like, all right, I'm just sending you this message because I need to empty the garbage can. And they know exactly what it is. Or, you know, with the people in my mastermind, I'll be like, can someone hold the garbage can for me? And so what it means is just like, you just talk it out. And for my gents, for my guys out there, if you're a lady, or if a lady in your life is emptying out the garbage can, this is not the time to solve it. This is the time to just hold the garbage can and be like, what else, honey? What else happened? Oh, that sounds terrible. What else? Anything else? And this, you know, if you're a lady and your friend, you know, is emptying out the garbage can, same thing. Oh, and then what happened? Oh, that must have been terrible. And then what else happened? And the person who's emptying out the garbage can, you just like go blah, 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 and then this happened, that happened, this is how I felt, I know this happened, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you just feel so much better. It's out of your system. So I really recommend having people who can't hold the garbage can for you, having just use this with your friends, do this for each other. You know, you're gonna do it one time, the other person's gonna do it the other time. And know that you don't have to fix anything, especially again if it's coming from a lady. You just have to listen, and that's it. You just have to. They just need somewhere to get it out. And after we get it out, then we're like, all right, life is great. We're good. We're done. Whew, got it out of my system. Thank you for taking out the garbage can, honey. Or the garbage, not the entire can. Thank you for taking out the garbage, honey. So that is number 6. Empty out the garbage can. Number 7 is a little game, and this game is called the at least game, right? So this is, again, thinking back to positivity. You can even play this with your kids, you can play it with people in your family, and so the way that this goes, and I just heard this from a friend and I was like, that's genius, it's perfect for this video. So suppose you're in a funk, and you're like, life is terrible, everything, all the things. And then you go, well, at least the electricity is working, you know, at least the sun is out and shining, at least the water, you know, there's running water and hot water, which is really important to me. At least I have a very comfortable bed to sleep in. At least I'm in this place that's gonna be warmer more than 3 weeks out of the entire year. And you just play the at least game for at least a minute or 2, and that's gonna immediately change your state. And you can use this for so many things, right? Whenever you feel yourself getting a little bit down, play the at least game. So tell me how playing the at least game has worked in your life. All right, we're almost there, guys. Number 8, self-care. You guys know I am the self-care queen, and so I'm gonna tell you to, by now, if you've been following this channel, if you've been following these episodes, you should already have your list on your wall of everything that makes you feel loved and spacious and abundant and loved. Did I already say that? And taken care of. And this isn't like what people give to you. This should be something that's fully within your control, right? So for me, it's running. Oh God, I love running and I just feel so much better. For me, my self-care is running. For me, my self-care is dancing, right? So just like dancing it out. I'm gonna go dancing tonight, maybe tomorrow. And so just doing what fills you up from the inside out, taking a bath, reading a book, singing. Singing for me just makes me feel so much better. Going out in nature, chatting with friends, eating healthy food. All of these things are, self-care. And I need you to keep that oxygen mask on 24/7. We don't take that oxygen mask, not for your baby, not for your husband, not for your company, not for your boss. That oxygen mask needs to stay on 24/7. I've been there, I've taken it off. And then that's when everything starts going wrong. So I need you to, in a future training, we're gonna talk about boundaries, and boundaries are so important. I need you to have boundaries, and I need you to know what it means for you to feel loved and spacious and abundant. And I need you to implement and like hold on and make those boundaries heard and respected within your life. And so self-care equals boundaries. It equals saying, hey, I am the most important person in my life, and I'm gonna need to love on myself right here, right now, today, tonight, this weekend. And I love you too. And this needs to happen, right? I need to love on myself first before I can love you, or before I can do this, or before I can take on another project, or actually I can't take on that project. So sometimes part of self-care just means saying no. So self-care, really important. Number 9, make somebody else's day if you get outside of yourself. This is gonna sound a little bit harsh, but there we go. Being in a funk often has to do with being all about you. You're like, all about me, this is terrible, me, this happened, me, I feel this. It's all about you. When you allow yourself to get outside of yourself and to think about how, real life, it's not all about you. There are people, across the ocean who, terrible things, right? There are people who you could help. There are people that, go hang out with a homeless person, or buy them a coffee, or get someone flowers, or send someone a thank you card. Get outside of yourself. Do something nice for someone else, and that will release some oxytocin, a little bit of dopamine, and it'll get you out of your head and into your heart. And it'll have you have more perspective to remember that there's so much more to life than this moment right here, right now, that sucks or that's hard. You have an entire life, there's an entire ecosystem of people doing things, and you're a part of it. It's a beautiful journey that you're on. And so just get outside of yourself. Remember that it's not just about you. And when we remember that we're a part of this beautiful journey and that there's so much more to this, it really helps with getting perspective and getting out of that funk. Number 10 is going to be, I just mentioned it, get out of your head and get into your heart. And number 10 is get out of your head and get into your heart. So in these situations, one of my favorite mentors, he says, get in your head, you're dead, right? The head, the mind, it's going through these feelings and thoughts, and and they're not that original. These thoughts that you're having right here, right now, there's a bunch of people around the world who are also having them. And just remembering that you're in control. You're in control of your emotional state. You're in control of your emotional home. You're in control of your training for your emotions. And we get to put in the work. We do the time, right? And so get out of your head. What I do, and so there's an exercise, and you guys can look for this, It's called heart, what is it? Heart something breathing. Heart something breathing. So you get out of your head and into your heart. There's a technique that's called heart breathing meditation. And so I want you to do this with me. So you close your eyes and we're gonna breathe in deep. Again, we're breathing in all the way into your abdomen and you're breathing out. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine the air coming in through your heart. And as you're breathing out, I want you to imagine a beautiful bright light expanding from your heart and enveloping you, enveloping everyone that you love, enveloping the world, your community, your state, your city, your country, the mountains, the oceans. And that brings us out of our mind and into our heart. And just do that for 1 to 5 minutes and just like really breathe in to your heart, and that will help you, reground. So there we have it. Those are 10 things that you can do to get out of a funk, because it happens, right? It's life. Like, we're gonna have moments, but just remember, have it be a moment. Don't have it become who you are. Don't have it define you. Know that through these strategies, these 10 steps that we just covered, you're in control. You really are. As out of control as it might feel, you are in charge. You're the boss here. You are the boss of your mind. And through this training, remember, we rise to the level of our training and our conditioning. This is emotional training. Just like you do push-ups in the gym, just like you read books, just like at work, you have training for this and for that. We also need to have training for our lives, which is why I do the work that I do, right? So for me, it's how do I provide the conditioning and the work and the homework and the exercise and the perspective for us to remember that we are meant to have incredible lives, that we are meant to live our best life, that we are meant to be the most authentic, happiest, boldest, most abundant, passionate, healthiest, most vibrant expression of who we can be. And so when we're in a funk, we're really not being that. And that is, I think, stealing moments, days, weeks of joy from this beautiful journey that is called life. And so do these 10 things. Get yourself, shake it off, shake it off. Just another thing, okay, this is gonna be a bonus, number 11. Something that I do every week that's part of my practice. It's called Qigong, and I also do, I'll type that stuff below, Qigong and tapping. So I believe in energy, and I believe that, so for those of you that have gotten acupuncture, right? So our emotions are stored in our body. And so something that you can do is, we are energetic beings. We can't, there's no denying that. We are energetic beings. And so with Qigong, what you do is you rebalance the energy of your body. And so you can go to YouTube, you can go anywhere, try to look for, a 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute Qigong practice for you to rebalance the energy. So I do this religiously on a weekly basis, at least once a week. I rebalance my energy. And then also tapping. So tapping gets the, the static emotions and stretching. That's why exercise is so important, guys. I need you to exercise, right? So by exercising, you release endorphins into your body. So exercise, that was included in the change your state. So exercising is so important, eating well, right? So back to the topic, tapping. This is going to release some of that static energy, those emotions. Stretching is also gonna do the same. And, you quite literally shake it off. And know that this too shall pass. And that you have a compelling vision of what it means for you to live your best life, And that's what you're worth. And that's the only thing that you will accept, because we're here to thrive. We're here to have an incredible, amazing journey, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I'm sending you so much love from Austin, Texas. And I want to see you in my program where you guys have, a chance to like ask me questions, and there's a lot more Q&A. There's courses coming down the line. Follow me on all the social media channels. Everything's going to be included below, but sign on to this monthly coaching series. Again, just the first session alone that we already did. Like, if you sign up today, you can access my 2-hour training today and start working on the homework for next month. Just alone, that first one could quite literally change your life. It is powerful. You're gonna connect with other people who have said, I'm stepping up to live my best life. And so this program was born completely out of love. It is my life's work, and this is my life's work. And so I'm just so grateful to be on the journey with you. Thank you for letting me into your life. Thank you for stepping up in your own life, and for showing up for yourself by watching this listening to this entire episode. And so again, just sending light and love, and I will catch you next week.